The Sea by Anastasia Suen. Most of the earth is covered with water, and most of the water is in the ocean. Many plants and animals live in the salty ocean water. Others live where the ocean touches the land, at the seashore. At the seashore, the water is always moving. Gravity from the moon pulls the water, causing the water level to rise and fall. This rising and falling of the water is called a tide. High tide brings the water far up onto the shore. Low tide leaves the beach dry and wide. Wind makes the waves roll in and out. Some beaches are sandy and some are rocky. On a sandy beach you can often see how high the tide came in. A line of dead seaweed is often left on the sand at the highest point. Below this line of a seaweed, the beach might look empty, but it's not. After a wave rolls out, these sandpipers run over and poke their bills into the sand. They are looking for something to eat. The bubbles in the sand might be telling you that something is hiding below. On rocky beaches, the animals are easier to see. When the tide is low, you can see mussels, sea stars, and limpets clinging to the rocks. The rocks are covered with seaweed. When the tide is high, the seaweed floats, and the sea stars and sea urchins move about. Mussels and limpets poke out of their shells. Crabs come out of their hiding places in the rocks, and snails climb on the seaweed. From a dock, you might see otters floating in the water and sea lions sunning themselves on the rocks. Sea otters like to float on their backs in the sea where seaweed grows. When you climb aboard a whale-watching boat, you leave the shore behind. Pelicans and seagulls often fly overhead. Sometimes dolphins follow your boat, splashing in the spray, and hopefully you see whales. With a snorkel and mask, you can explore our coral reef. Most coral only grows in warm, clear, and shallow water because it needs light to stay alive. If you look closely at a piece of coral, you will see that it's soft on the inside and hard on the outside. Fish that live in warm water are often very colorful. More types of fish live in the coral reefs than any other place in the ocean. Butterfly fish, clownfish, and parrotfish swim among the coral. Some sea stars and crabs live in the reefs too. So many different animals live in the ocean. Sea turtles, which make their home in the ocean, have hard shells and can swim up to 20 miles an hour. Jellyfish, which also live in the ocean, have no bones and simply float from place to place. Rays, which are related to sharks, look like underwater birds when they swim. An octopus, which has no backbone, can squeeze in between rocks in the ocean. Far out at the sea, the ocean floor is very deep. It is so deep that no light shines there at all. Some animals that live near the ocean floor glow in the dark. An anglerfish, which makes its home deep in the ocean, has a fin on top of its head that glows. These two worms live on the ocean floor near deep sea hot springs. These hot springs are also called deep sea vents. The two worms feed off the air and gas coming out of the vents. Deep sea vents were discovered only recently. They are so deep that only a submarine can reach them. The ocean is filled with many beautiful and different animals. Each day, as the earth spins and the moon moves, the tides rise and fall. Waves wash onto the shore again and again. bringing us reminders of this wonderful place.